Welcome to another episode of the Your Company Health Podcast. I'm your host, Andre Wright. Today we have a discussion with Dr. Kerith Powell. He's the owner of Dr. Chris Natural Remedies in Atlanta. And we spoke about a wide variety of different things in terms of his techniques and his philosophy about chiropractic here, and also his nonprofit and how he's giving back to the community. So take a listen and hope you enjoy. Welcome to another episode of the Your Company Health Podcast, brought to you by my new book, Visibility. You can get it on Amazon. And today we have our special guest. He has been on the podcast before, Dr. Kerith Powell. And we're just excited to have Dr. Powell today and to share his knowledge in the chiropractic space. So to get things going, Doctor, tell us what has been going on in your life, and give us a little background about you and chiropractic here.
Okay, thank you. Good morning or good afternoon, whatever time you are viewing this. Andre, I want to thank you for inviting me again to your show. The last time I was with you, we spoke about a lot of things, COVID and Haiti. And as far as what's going on now, I'd like to just let everyone know that the birthing center in Haiti is up and running. We received several donations that allowed us to provide them with solar power. And we have 63 live births as of yesterday. And we hired a third midwife. So things are moving along just nicely there.
Wow, that's a great development, and that's a very good thing that you're doing, Doctor. Is really, it's good to give back and to see, the positive impacts of what you're doing. So that's fantastic. So our listeners and viewers, they know that you have you're very experienced in your field, and you have a unique perspective on chiropractic here, but your story is also very good. So why don't you tell us about how you started?
Yeah, well, it was 20 minutes I spent with Dr. James Parker. He went by Jim Parker. I called him Brother Sparky after I got to know him. But that 20 minutes, it essentially changed my life. He told me the three things about chiropractic that I needed to hear in a profession. The first was that people typically leave your space feeling better than they did when they came in, and just happier people. So I had always wanted that as one of my career goals. The other was that I was going to be able to use my hands every day. Chiropractic means hand practice when translated from Greek. And so I get to do that every day. Another win. But the one that really sealed the deal for me was when he told me that I would be able to work with innate intelligence every single day. And innate intelligence is that inborn intelligence that we all have, not just humans, but all living things. It is inside our bodies. It's what guides us. It's what helps us grow. We don't have to do anything for the stature to change or for oxygen to be transferred into the blood from our lungs. That's all innate intelligence. And to me, that's God. And I get to work with that every day.
You would say your specialty technique or your philosophy of chiropractic, what that is?
Well, I don't know that chiropractors have a separate philosophies. Chiropractic, really, the root of it is to remove nerve interference. That is the transmission of that innate intelligence through the central nervous system. Now, there are other nervous systems, peripheral and autonomic, and so on and so forth, and we can talk about those. But I think for this audience, just understanding that the brain is like the central processing center for all of the activity that takes place in our bodies. And its main fiber connection to the body is the spinal cord. That spinal cord is protected by your spinal column, which is made up of the vertebrae in your spine. Removing the interference, any interference in that system, is beneficial to the individual who receives that. So that's the philosophy, removing nerve interference. That's the goal, and that's what produces the results that chiropractors get all over the world. That's the philosophy of chiropractic as it relates to why chiropractors do what they do. My approach, though, is to remind people that there are 3 causes of this nerve interference that I just described, and the causes are very simple. But in our modern life, they're ubiquitous. So they are trauma, toxins, and autosuggestion. Trauma, everyone pretty much understands, if you have a sports injury or if you're in a car accident, slip and fall, or fell off a ladder, you're going to have some aches and pains, and the chiropractor is a good choice for you in most cases. Toxins, people don't really associate with a chiropractor as much because, one, they don't even know that they're poisoning themselves with some of the products that they use. And, we all have to use some of these things. We're talking about shampoos and soaps and the environment. If you work in say, a dry cleaner or at a gas station, in some other factory where they use chemicals, all of these things are absorbed by not just the air, but on your skin. Anything that we ingest, the food, which isn't really that great, and that's a subject for another discussion. All of these things are toxins, and they affect the nervous system and cause it to fire incorrectly. And a chiropractor is trained to detect those and correct them. So they may give you tips on how to avoid or reduce your toxic load so that you can, your organ systems aren't as stressed. And the last one, autosuggestion, is the way that it was phrased when the philosophy of chiropractic was written way back in the day, early 1900s. And, but essentially it's self-thought, it's thought, it's the way that we think about things. And so if you're at the mall, for example, and you're just sitting in a bench and you're watching people walk by, you can notice the difference between people who are in a good mood and people who are not. And you can do that just by looking at the way they walk and their posture and the way they carry their head. Okay. This is an example of how the thought affects the body. And it's very important for, it's one of the things that I try to remind my patients of, that, it's not that you have to have a happy-go-lucky attitude about life or ignore some of the things that are happening. But if you look for the silver lining behind the cloud, you can find it, and it really actually helps to decrease the levels of stress that you put on your body, because your body does not really know the difference between a real threat, like a saber-toothed tiger jumping out from behind the bushes to come and get you, and an imagined threat, whereas, oh no, what happens if, that sort of thing.
We don't look at chiropractic care as, it's almost secondary.
Correct.
Why do you think that is?
And I'm glad you brought it up, and I appreciate your forum for allowing me and other chiropractors like me to spread this message. This is the message of chiropractic. It hasn't really changed in the 100+ years that it's been around. However, you've got to realize that if I said, good to the last drop, you would know that I was talking about a certain brand of coffee. And that is because they advertise. Mm-hmm. And you don't have that sort of constant reminder in the social public sphere on chiropractic. It's very difficult to achieve that because of the type of care that we provide. And as it relates to how the marketplace works, we're talking about lots of dollars to send that message. Okay, that's number one. Number two is that you mentioned the GPs. It's not, the medical profession as a whole, including the pharmaceutical industry, because I'll just take a little digression here. When you go to your general practitioner, the prescription or the solution or the recommendation for whatever you went in there for is usually either drugs or surgery. And there's nothing wrong with drugs or surgery, okay? They have their place. And what I posit is that shouldn't be the first step. Easy availability of people's information towards the drugs, towards the procedures that are available, and we have some miracles taking place. They go to the one that they know that can provide those. Now, with chiropractic, it really should be primary. My sign in the office reads chiropractic first, because it is a very conservative method of care. And it works with the body's own innate system in order to help heal the body. Now, there are times when there is too much tissue damage, a person waits too long. Chiropractic is not going to set a broken bone. There are things that chiropractic cannot do. But for the most part, it should be the first line of defense. And your chiropractor is actually trained to help you know when you need to see somebody else.
Chiropractic care, we could say it's proactive care.
Oh, yes.
Because it's actually, working on the fundamentals to ensure that your body react in the right way. And we can segue into our talk more about that. I want you to tell our listeners, how chiropractic care is important in the development of your immune system.
We talked about the central nervous system and how it is responsible or is involved in all of the other systems, and that includes your immune system. The immune system is very robust. It mainly resides in your gut, so you really ought to be careful about what you ingest and how you treat your system. And sugary drinks, there are a lot of things that will deplete your immune system just from the normal American diet. Let's just say that. But also, like if someone takes antibiotics, or if someone has loses a lot of fluid, they need to replenish all of that in order to help maintain the health of their gut, keep their immune system high, and there's some specific things that individuals can and should do in that area. But removing the nerve interference by itself, without having done any of those other things, assists the body in communicating well, identifying foreign agents, and responding to them in an efficient manner.
How often I know it's unique to each person, but how often should you see your chiropractor?
Now that depends on the individual completely. Each chiropractor, it also depends on the technique that chiropractor chooses to use or whatever they employ. And so some of my patients are every 6 weeks, some are every 8 weeks, several are every 4 weeks, and then I have a few that are every 2 weeks. But that is completely each individual gets their own care plan, and there's not a cookie cutter approach to how chiropractic an individual will respond to chiropractic care. Just think about it. I mean, a young a teenager or 21-year-old is going to have a lot more resilience than somebody in their 50s. Okay, it just is a matter of all of the forces that we have to deal with over time, such as gravity, inertia, entropy, and all of that. So, and how they use their body. Does that person play a professional sport? or are they just sitting on the couch? So, a lot of factors go into how often an individual needs to see their chiropractor, but the chiropractor will be able to, inform them on the care plan that's right for them. At our office, we cover a lot of areas. Dr. Chris's Natural Remedies is named after Dr. Chris Green, who is a celebrity in some circles because of his radio show that he did many years ago, and brought all of his nutritional knowledge to a lot of people, and he continues to use that knowledge today to help people with a variety of illnesses and health concerns. So we offer that there, which is something that not all chiropractors do, and some chiropractors may think it's that is not chiropractic, and that actually really isn't, because it's not removing nerve interference necessarily. But we do, in this day and age, our nutritional, the state of the nutrition in the country is very poor. It's very difficult to get healthy foods. And if you're a person that understands that and knows that, and you look for healthy foods, you know that they are few and far between, and you typically pay a premium for it. So, but unfortunately, a lot of people have been living like that for so long that they have weaknesses that need to be supplemented through more concentrated, specific either herbs, vitamins, homeopathic remedies, glandulars, protomorphogens, all of these things we use. So yes, we're unique in that way. Now, there are 4 chiropractors in the office, and we each carry something different. And recently, we just gained a new doctor who is versed in therapeutic activities. He was studied physical therapy type activities as his undergraduate, and has brought all of that into chiropractic. So he's very versed in the frame of the human body, and he's helping young athletes to grow and develop and perform at a higher level. And he's also helping our elderly who have either suffered an accident, injury, or post-surgery recover from that and reduce their risk of another injury. So our goal is to be able to serve the community and provide affordable, quality healthcare in a comfortable and loving environment.
That's great. That's great. So, Doctor, I typically ask this of my guests. I want you to walk us through your process. Say I come in as a first-time patient. What's your process?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same as most offices. You sign some intake paperwork and so on. You get to meet the doctor. You get an examination completed. The recommendations are made, and then the treatment plan is given. All of that is reported to the patient at some point during the time. A person may call, and because of all of the things that we just discussed, and because of the fact that we have so many doctors, if they don't know what they want, our staff is trained to help them find out who they need to see in order to get started. And once they start seeing someone, that person may determine that they need to see someone else in the office and make a referral that way. Or it might be someone outside the office and we make a referral that way. But that is the process, and that's how it should happen. And I think that's how it happens in most doctors' offices. There are really no surprises at my office, because everything is laid out pretty easily for everyone to understand.
So in terms of, because I know I've spoken with chiropractors in the past, and they're like, when you come into my office, the first thing that you're going to do, we're going to do some x-rays. I don't care who you are, we're going to do x-rays on your, and then take it from there. We just want to know that what's happening first. And is that something that is that your approach, or you do it based on the complaint?
It's not based on the complaint, but it's based on the patient. So I take x-rays when I think that they're necessary. However, you may have been speaking to some chiropractors that use techniques that require X-ray analysis in order to perform the technique. The two that I can think of right now are Gonstead and CBP. And those two techniques, you have to have X-rays, and you need to measure, and you need to draw lines, and in order to take care of the patient properly under those techniques. So if you've been AO is another one, excuse me, Atlas Orthogonal. But if you do have a doctor like that, I wouldn't be wary of the fact that you have to have X-rays in order to be seen, because that doctor is given the time to those X-rays in order to come up with the treatment plan for you. The type of work that I do does not require that I have X-rays on every person. And so the times when I order the X-rays is when I suspect that there could be some pathological process taking place. And we need to know that prior to moving ahead. Sometimes it can wait, and whatever the decision is, if the decision is made to take the X-rays are used in the care plan of the patient. And of course, we go over them with them so that they know, they can have a visual as to, hey, why they're having different problems.
That's great. That's great. And I know you touched on the technique by different practitioners, and was talking to you before, and you just we discussed the whole a biblical perspective of chiropractic here, and I think that's it's I would love for you to share that with our audience.
Chiropractic is so spiritual, and like I said in the beginning about the innate intelligence part of the body. You don't have to be a spiritual person or believe in God or anything like that to really appreciate the principles of chiropractic. I'll share with you the major premise, which is the principle number 1. And it reads, a universal intelligence is in all matter and continually gives to it all its properties and actions, thus maintaining it in existence. Now, what that translates to from a biblical perspective, or someone that could understand it in a different way, that sounds a little scientific and out there. But John 1, verse 3 through 5 reads, through him all things were made. Without him was made, nothing was made that was made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. So the universal intelligence is that everything that was made, and it is in all, and it resides in all. And that's the major premise of chiropractic. Now, I want to share 4 more principles of the next 4 principles of chiropractic with you here. Number 2 is the meaning of life. The expression of this intelligence through matter, us, is the chiropractic meaning of life. That is, this universal intelligence that permeates everything, its expression through matter is the meaning of life. That's what we define it to be. The third is the union of intelligence and matter, and life is necessarily the union of intelligence and matter. The fourth is the triune of life. Life is a triunity having 3 necessary united factors, namely intelligence, force, and matter. So the matter is the physical part of the body that it makes up. Intelligence, we could say, is what, and the force is the transmission of that intelligence to the matter that needs to receive it. So, for example, if you touch a hot stove, okay, you have now matter is involved. The force goes up your nerves and it goes into your brain, and the intelligence tells you to move your hand off of the stove. This all happens in a split second. And this is all through this chiropractic process that I'm talking about. And the last one is the perfection of the triune. in order to have 100% life, there must be 100% intelligence, 100% force, and 100% matter. That's why I talk about removing nerve interference so that the intelligence can be directed with 100% force to the matter. And that's why I said that in some cases, there are limits because matter can be less than 100%. It's the only one of those three that can be less than 100%.
So what I get from that is for the body to work well, everything must be in alignment. It must be in alignment, and just as you explained the principles of the Bible, that's a good foundation for this alignment. So I want you to further this tell us, what are your thoughts on chiropractic care in, say, the next 10 years?
Yeah, it's changed in the last 20 years since I've been a chiropractor already. So people are definitely getting exposed to it and realizing that it's not just it's not an ancillary thing. It's something that should be part of your life. And what I like to say is that chiropractic is for everyone, and there is a chiropractor for everyone. And so I might not be the chiropractor for you, but I know that there is a chiropractor out there that's perfect for you. The thing about it is, let's say in the next 20 years, if it goes at any rate that like it has gone in the 20 years since I've been practicing, I think that we'll have chiropractors in hospitals, in the delivery room, giving newborns their first adjustment as they come out, and of course the mothers, while they're pregnant, they'll be getting adjusted, and chiropractors will be just about everywhere. And right now, I mean, we are in the VA. They kind of restrict the patients that we get, but it's just going to grow. We'll be more accessible to more people.
Mm-hmm. I want to tell us what's the if you would say, give us one major misconception of chiropractic care, what would that be?
Well, I haven't heard it in a long time, but they say that we're good for neck and back pain and headaches, and it's true. We are good for that, but that's not it's not all we do. And a part of the reason why people always said that was because our approach leads us to the spine, so that's the neck and the back, right? But it's only because the spinal cord is in the spine. Okay, if the spinal cord were somewhere else, that's where we would go, because the goal is yes, you want the spinal column aligned, but it's so that the spinal cord can be free of interference, right? All of that information going through it. That's the goal. So I don't know if it's a real misconception or not. I have the best patients. All my patients are just wonderful, and they understand chiropractic. I take my time and share it with them. Many of them have taught me things because they've come to me as their second or third chiropractor. So, there's a lot of hope. I don't really know what the new misconceptions are. I do see that there are people on social media sites doing chiropractic, or I'm not sure. I don't follow them, so I don't know exactly what they're doing, but I get reports that they're out there doing these things and showing their skills on social media and things like that. And I may just be out of that generation to be able to appreciate it fully. But as long as they're spreading the word that chiropractic is good for you and it relieves nerve interference, and with less interference in your nervous system, your body's going to function better, then that's fine.
So I have one. So chiropractic care is for adults and not kids.
Yeah, well, I guess that is one. I haven't heard it recently, but because we have special child prices and we encourage all of our parents to bring their kids. I mean, one of the analogies that I use is that if you are a church goer, you don't just go by yourself, you bring your kids too. And so if you're a chiropractic patient, right, and you understand chiropractic and the way that I just explained it to you, you would want to bring your kids as well.
And that's great. But I want you to talk more, because I know firsthand that you're doing a really good job with your nonprofit and what you're doing in Haiti, and I know you're expanding this to Jamaica. So I want to talk to our audience about that.
Well, yeah. Thanks for that opportunity as well. There's this poem that I learned while I was in chiropractic school. I'm going to share it with you now, and it goes, "It's not what you get, but what you give. It's not who you are, but how you live. Giving the world the love it needs, living a life of noble deeds. Strong for the right, the good, the true. These are the things worthwhile to you." And that's one of the things that goes through my head when I talk about, when people ask me about the work that I'm doing. I don't do it for me. And even now I'm just tearing up a little bit because, there's so much out there. And while one person can't do everything, a lot of people together can do a lot of things. And so we've partnered with other people that are like-minded, that want to do something because they can. And, there are people that need it. And we're not looking for anything, I mean, if you want to support, if you want to help, if you want to donate, if you could knit. We have people that knit blankets for the babies when they're born down at the birthing center in Wanamette, Haiti. We take them down. We have people that make swaddlers so the mothers can carry their babies and have both their arms free. We have people that have donated um, uh, supplies that are necessary, such as scissors and tape and bed sheets, all of these things. And all of those things add up to make what's happening down there a reality and a possibility for so many people that need it, because, that area of Haiti has the highest maternal mortality rate in the Western Hemisphere. And, while we're not going to, harp on that, we want to actually promote the people that are down there that are doing the work, because everyone that's working in the clinic is Haitian. They're all trained in Haiti. So we're providing some economic support to the area by hiring these people. And so, I'm just very happy and proud of the work that's being done over there. You mentioned Jamaica. That is a new project, like you said, for me. Being of Jamaican, I was born in Jamaica and lived in 5 Caribbean islands and in 5 states in the United States. And I have a love for Jamaica. I have a love for all of these other places that I've been to as well. But Jamaica holds a special place for me. And we had an opportunity with some of the partners that I work with in Haiti to bring some volunteers to the island to offer chiropractic services to anyone who wants it at no charge. And that's going to be a reality April of 2022. So I've been spending some time down there, getting to know a lot of the leaders, the principals, the public officials, as well as pastors, people in the Western Regional Health Authority. Everyone is going to be involved. And the events are going to be focused in the western portion of Jamaica, from Sav-la-Mar through Montego Bay. And we'll have a team of about 30 people, and we're spending a day in 5 locations, and then we'll be heading back home. So, I'm very looking forward to that. I have not heard no on any of these. People have been saying, we really, really need this type of service down here. And they're being so helpful and so accommodating. And it just goes, I just feel like we're on to something with this project here too.
And that's fantastic. And we'll definitely, follow your projects. And for someone listening or watching and saying they want to donate, how can they donate? Just give us information and we could put it across the screen.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Dr. Chris's Natural Remedies, if you go to our website, you should see something at the top that says Mission Trip Haiti. And if you click on any of those, there should be a donate button on one of those pages. Just click donate. You can put that you're on Powell's team for me, Dr. Powell. And that money is going to go straight to the Mission Life International, who is the group that built the birthing center in Haiti, and that money will go directly to those people.
Fantastic. So drchrisnaturalremedies.com. So you all
Correct.
could go there and donate there to this great cause. And Doctor, has been great talking to you today about what you've been up to since the last time. And I know we're gonna have different episodes. We're gonna talk more in the future because what you're doing is fantastic, and there are so many great reviews from patients about you and what you're doing with your practice. So any final thoughts to the audience?
Yeah, well, I would like to thank you again, Andre, for allowing me this forum, this ability to talk. I love what I do, and I think that's what one of the things I have in mind for all of my patients is that I want you to be able to do the things that you want to do for as long as you want to do them, and if we can get there, then I think that we lived a successful life. So I'm happy about being able to share my passion with everyone. And I'd also like to congratulate you on your book. I've read it, and I got some tidbits out of it, and I'm using them, and they're working. So, I would encourage other people to read it and find somebody that can help them do the things that you do, because you're very skilled and talented at your work, and I appreciate you for that as well.
All right, thanks so much, Doctor, for the kind words, and that's been great. I know our audience, they found some great nuggets from the discussion. So until next time, thank you, and talk soon.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. Please visit our website at yourcompanyhealth.com. Also, you can listen to us on your favorite podcast platforms. Follow us on social media at Your Company Health. And lastly, subscribe to our YouTube channel for new episodes and highlights. Until next time, stay safe.